a case for anyone else because the guy we're talking about came into the Premier League in his first season and did something that no one has been able to do for like over 30 years, or in the 30 years of the Premier League, which is to score the amount of goals that he has done, and two, in his first season. That's the most astonishing thing, in his first season. And not only did he break the modern Premier League record, but also the English league that was set up before. That's why he's undisputed number one.
Like you can't make a case for.
Okay, the top 5 transfers of the season. We're back with another video from the guys at the club. Again, these guys are amazing. If you're not going to subscribe to them, I'll have the link in the description. If you're not going to have a look afterwards. But yeah, without wasting any more time, guys, the top 5 signings of the season.
To be had today. Top 5 signings of the season.
Oh, this is a great game.
So we'll get stuck into it.
Okay.
Everyone needs to have their own top 5.
Okay, should we just? Can I just get one out the way? Oh, what we think of our own top 5? Yeah. Let's just say, should we make it top 4?
I'll give you my top 5 before they get started. Not to say that I'm copying them and stuff. I've not watched this video yet. My top 5 signings of the season have to be: Kvaratskhelia has to be in there, Casemiro has to be in there, Haaland has to be in there, Jim Came, I always get his name mixed up. The defender from Napoli, he has to be in there. And then there's that 5th position that I'm kind of struggling to sort out. But we'll see what the guys have to say, and then hopefully
this is a great game.
So we'll get stuck into it.
Okay.
Everyone needs to have their own top 5.
Okay. Should we just? Can I just get one out the way? Oh, what we think of our own top 5? Yeah. Let's just say, should we make it top 4 and Haaland, right?
Yeah.
Haaland and then top 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just name some notable.
Haaland has to be number 1. Come on.
One out the way. Oh, what we think of our own top 5? Yeah. Let's just say, should we make it top 4 and Haaland, right?
Yeah.
Haaland and then top 4.
Yeah. So we'll just name some notable signings first. Arsenal have had Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko. Brighton had Estupinan and Ciso. Colwill on loan. I'm not sure we should count loan deals in this. Chelsea brought in Badia Chile.
Lisandro Martinez is a good shout. I was just thinking about that. I forgot what Lisandro Martinez is a good shout. Names are not coming to my head right now.
Fulham, Palinia, Willian on a free. Andreas Pereira. Leeds signed Nonto for £4 million, which is incredible value. Man City signed Haaland, Akanji as well. United, Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez. Newcastle, Isaac, Botman, Pope. Southampton got Lavia, which I think is a great signing as well. So those are just some of the notable signings. I've probably missed a few out. You can get them in the comments below. Let's say why Haaland is the signing of the season.
Okay, I think they're just doing the top 5 signings of the season in the Premier League. I'm doing the top 5 signings of the season in Europe. As I said again, Kvaratskhelia, Haaland, Casemiro, Kim Jae-Kim, and that's the 5th spot I'm kind of struggling. I have to put Kim Jae in that conversation because Napoli lost one of the best centre-backs in Europe, one of the best centre-backs of the past few seasons, and they replaced him with a player, and they've not looked back. And pretty much an unknown player for the most part, and they've not looked back. And I think that should not be overlooked.
So those are just some of the notable signings. I've probably missed a few out. You can get them in the comments below. Let's say why Haaland is the signing of the season, if that's what we think is number 1. Yeah. I'm assuming Boovy thinks that. You think that. I mean,
he is as well. Is it like?
But why do you think that?
Because I think a lot of things in football, and this is what makes it so great, is subjective. You know, Boovy can say one thing, I can say the other. We both passionately believe what we're saying, and ultimately neither of us are provable in terms of being right or wrong. Whereas I think Erling Haaland just is the best signing. Like you can't make a case for anyone else. Like it's just completely impossible. There are some honourable mentions when talking about Haaland.
You can't make a case for anyone else because the guy we're talking about came into the Premier League in his first season and did something that no one has been able to do for like over 30 years, or in the 30 years of the Premier League, which is to score the amount of goals that he has done, and 2, in his first season. That's the most astonishing thing, in his first season. And not only did he break the modern Premier League record, but also the English league that was set up before.
Whereas
That's why
I think
he's
Erling Haaland just is
undisputed
the
number
best
one.
signing. Like you can't make a case for anyone else. Like it's just completely impossible. There are some honourable mentions when talking about Haaland. You know, there are some brilliant arrivals. But what Erling Haaland has done, he's come into this league, he's completely blown it open. He's like changed the definition of a good season. He's broken every record that you can put in front of him. He scored goals from day dot. I think it was West Ham very early in the season, like when he sat down and did the old like yoga thing. I just think that he has totally redefined what good numbers are. And the amount of hat tricks and whatever. That's
a great tackle. That is
Great
an
challenge.
absolutely great tackle.
challenge.
Whoever that was for Arsenal.
terrible shot.
Is it Kivio?
But it is Haaland, isn't it? The only reason, right, and I don't agree with this, but you know, if somebody wanted to be a bit sneery to City or to Haaland or whatever, and again, I don't think it happens, but you know, if City end the season with one trophy, which I suppose isn't beyond the realms of possibility. I feel like the league is going to be theirs, but let's say they don't add to the league. You could maybe use that. I disagree with you, but you could maybe use that as ammunition.
You can't. If you make an argument, I know what Roy's trying to say. He's not saying that he is saying it. He's just playing devil's advocate. But if you try to make an argument as to why Haaland isn't the signing of the year, why he isn't the Premier League player of the season,
you idiot! You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you.
that's all I have to say to you. He is, and there's no argument to be had to have. It's probably one of the most unanimous things I've ever seen happen in this sport.
But let's say they don't add to the league. You could maybe use that. I disagree with you, but you could maybe use that as ammunition to say, well, Haaland hasn't delivered because what he was brought in to deliver was silverware. You know the way when people go, Messi hasn't done it at Paris Saint-Germain because he was meant to take a European Cup there. Or, well, Ronaldo didn't do it at Juve because he was meant to take a European Cup there. But for me...
even those arguments are weak. The Messi at PSG is not Messi's fault that he's playing with a bunch of bombs. He's playing with a manager. He's playing with managers that are way out of their league. And with Ronaldo at Juventus, if you go look, I've made a video on this last year. If you go look at Ronaldo's Champions League performances at Juventus, he always came through for the team. Look at the Atletico Madrid comeback, for example. That's the main one, the most prominent one that always comes to mind. That Juventus team just wasn't built that way to win the competition. Yes, Ronaldo was brought in to win the whole thing, but again, football is a team competition, and players alone don't win major trophies. If you're not talk about individual players, talk about the individual performances. Like here with Haaland, we should talk about what he's been able to do in the Premier League scoring record, and that is, again, Rory isn't saying this. He's just making an argument, a devil's advocate for someone trying to criticize Haaland, which, again, with debating, I love that you have to look at both sides, and what he's saying is ridiculous, and that's why Haaland is number one. The argument that he's trying to make is ridiculous, and why that's just goes to emphasize why Haaland's number one.
Well, Messi hasn't done it at Paris Saint-Germain because he was meant to take a European Cup there. Or, well, Ronaldo didn't do it at Juve because he was meant to take a European Cup there. But for me, it just is Haaland.
We're talking Premier League as well. What you obviously get to watch Haaland for your team every week.
I've never seen anything like it, and I can't even sit here and say the aesthetic quality of this guy is that good. I think he looks a little bit cumbersome on the ball. We've said that for multiple...
less and less so.
He's getting better by the week.
You have to say that, bro.
Coming in to receive the ball is fantastic. I've never seen anything like it as a football fan. I've never seen any player go to a club in the Premier League and instantly score the amount of goals that he's scored. It's unbelievable. And I don't think he's playing out of his skin, by the way. I think he's scoring the goals that he should do. I think if he missed an extra few every now and then, he's even on 40 goals a season instead of 50 plus, then that would be fair enough as well. I don't think I think the reason it's signing of the season is because, all right, the first season's been fantastic. He's nowhere near his ceiling. He's nowhere near a developed striker. We see strikers develop 28.
Great point. I did not think of that, but that's a great point. When I look at Haaland play, something that we have to say, and something, for example, me and the guys on the PC For You podcast always kind of allude to, is Haaland is scoring all of these goals, but there is so much more to his game. Okay, when you compare Haaland to guys like R9, to Suarez, to Henry, the best to ever do it in the sport, even someone like Sergio Aguero's or Karim Benzema, Romario's, the Eto's of the game. You compare their game to Haaland's game, and yes, Haaland has broken the scoring record, and that is impressive. I'm not taking nothing away from him. When we even did the best finishers of all time, I had Haaland at least, and I was criticized for it. But what I'm trying to say is, when you look at those guys and you look at Haaland's game, you can see how behind Haaland is compared to those guys. For example, I would much rather have a Suarez in this team, but that's not really fair on Haaland, because with Suarez, we've seen Suarez in his prime. We've not seen Haaland take that, or at least reach that point yet. And I think that's the point that he's trying to make, and I think it's a great point. It is scary to think that Haaland has not reached his prime yet. He's playing at an incredible level, but there's so much more to his game that he can add, and that if he adds it,
I think the reason it's signing the season is because, all right, the first season's been fantastic. He's nowhere near his ceiling. He's nowhere near a developed striker. We see strikers develop 28, 29's prime striker time. He's got 7 years to get to that point.
Do you know what though? But look,
he may burn out quicker than anyone else.
I don't agree.
True, yeah,
I don't agree with what I'm about to say here. But just to explore it, sometimes for strikers, the second season is very difficult, because people are aware of you, people are doubling up on you, people know how you like to play, people keep you on a particular foot. Yeah. Certain players have had amazing seasons, haven't they? Like in terms of goal scoring, nothing like Haaland, but there was Marcus Stewart, Kevin Phillips, there have been examples of players, but they found it difficult that second, third season. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen to Haaland, but
I think with Haaland as well, though,
why not?
The sheer physicality of him makes it more difficult for you to find those plans.
Yeah.
He's a lot more taller, he's a lot more quicker, he's a lot stronger, he's a lot more than anyone else.
Very smart.
And there's so many
his legs in weird positions.
And there's so many other, in various other examples of
that physical advantage.
An amazing season. You can try and nullify a particular striker, because what you can do is you can double up on that player. Maybe Alan Shearer in his Newcastle team, that wasn't a particularly good Newcastle team. You could double up and really, really focus on Shearer, because basically if you stop Shearer, you stop Newcastle. With Haaland, you can't do that. You can't think. Your game plan can't be stop Haaland. Because if you focus on Haaland, De Bruyne is going to get you, or Silva's going to get you, or Mahrez is going to get you, or Grealish is going to get you.
Facts.
So it makes Haaland's life a lot easier, because you actually can't focus on him. So look, overall, it's just going to go from strength to strength.
It's a really good shout, because I think we've seen it with Guardiola. It's not a 4-3-3, the same formation week in, week out with one striker like we've had for the last 5 years. He's playing Alvarez around him. So he's actually giving Haaland the opportunity to play in a 4-4-2 sometimes, which is, as City fans, we've never seen that in the last 5 years. So Guardiola is a manager. That's why he's the best manager in the world. He's already thinking about, how do I fit out?
That's another thing that we don't talk about enough. How Pep Guardiola, over the past 5 years with City, some of the players have remained the same, like the key members, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, John Stones, Bernardo Silva, some of Edison, some of the core members have been the same, but there have been different iterations of this team. And one of the biggest criticisms, or one of the biggest skepticisms coming to the season towards Pep Guardiola and what he was going to be able to do with the City team, was how was he going to be able to adapt Erling Haaland into a team that pretty much already played excellent football. And Guardiola once again proved to us that he is a footballing genius, and whatever challenge you put ahead of him, he will sort it out. Again, Broovy, great point.
2 sometimes, which is, as City fans, we've never seen that in the last 5 years. So Guardiola is a manager. That's why he's the best manager in the world. He's already thinking about, how do I fit Alvarez and Haaland into that. For me, 3 of the 5 would be Man City players, not to be biased. Alvarez has to be a shout, because it has to be a mixture of the quality. I think he can be another.
I'll take. There's no way Alvarez makes that team. I'll take. Top 5 signings of the season, you're going to put Alvarez there? I guess in the Premier League? Nah, not even in the Premier League, I wouldn't put Alvarez there. No, I'll take.
Alvarez has to be a shout, because it has to be a mixture of the quality. I think he can be a world-class striker.
Who's the third?
He costs 15 million quid, 20 million quid.
Who's the third, mate?
Kanji, for me as well. This guy.
I think there are 3 other. Look, I'm not suggesting Kanji's not had a good season, but like
They're full
I don't
City
think
by
There's 4 other transfers.
Yeah, there's 4 other transfers that are better.
Really? Yeah. For 50 million quid, a guy in his prime.
No one's arguing that he's a good signing. We're talking about Premier League signing of the season. So that involves not just the price tag, not just how good you think they'll be in the future, but also what they've done this season.
He's been incredible this season.
Okay, so that's your top 5. Give us your top
this
5
season.
signings. You're going to go top 3C.
I not.
Go on, let's
you
hear
have
them. Let's
to,
hear them.
because they're fantastic deals.
Right, let's hear them, mate.
Akanji, Alvarez, and Haaland, all for less than 100 million quid, by the way, which is unbelievable business. Zinchenko's got to go in there. I was going to put Lavia in there because I think Lavia is a fantastic signing.
You put Zinchenko in.
I have to put Zinchenko in there because he's cheap, mate. He was cheap for them.
But you've spent all game saying that he's soft and he's not a winner and he's not very good at left back.
But for Arsenal, he has brought some leadership to that squad lacking leadership at Arsenal for the last 20 years. They've not won a league.
That's so contradictory.
Soaking his ass right now.
For your whole everything.
Sorry, you can be top 5. Is it the same point you made about Akanji? I think Akanji's been unbelievable. So what is what it is. Zinchenko.
Unbelievable. Akanji has been unbelievable. Akanji's been good. He's not been unbelievable. Martinez has been unbelievable. I know Saliba isn't a signing of Arsenal per se, but it's like his rookie season. Saliba has been unbelievable. Pope has been unbelievable. Put Pope in that top 5. Put Trippier in the top 5. Akanji? Alvarez? Give me a break.
Who's been good for Arsenal to the point where he's changed Arsenal's backline. I don't think they'd be challenging.
I think
for the
the
title.
impact of Zinchenko is also in the dressing room.
Do you know-
I think he's made a difference.
Zinchenko is a good shout. Akanji?
Say to me your top 5 again.
Yeah.
Say them again.
Akanji, Alvarez, Haaland, Zinchenko, Lavia.
All
So
City
every
players.
single player has either been bought by.
What the hell did you just say?
Say to me your top 5 again.
Yeah.
Say them again.
L.
Akanji,
I'll
Alvarez,
take.
Haaland, Zinchenko, Lavia.
All
So
City
Every
players.
single player has either been bought by City or signed from City.
That's not.
You're
that's
a
not,
mug.
That's not a
Go on,
deliberate
Roy.
thing.
No, maybe
They're all players on the shortlist. You virgin.
no. I mean, I don't. Yeah, do you know? Is this just because
What
you
is
know?
Lavia? All right, Lavia's an issue with you then, is it?
No. I haven't got an issue with that. I just think it's weird that you've gone no bias and they're
called
either
coincidence,
signed
man.
by.
It's
bias.
called
Love it,
coincidence.
Okay.
What's yours, Rory?
I mean, Haaland obviously.
All of Chelsea's side.
Yes. No, yeah. I think it's
Fofana,
Enzo
Cucurella.
Fernandez, yeah?
Badiashile is definitely up there. I mean, we go Levi Colwill at Brighton, definitely deserves a mention here.
Badiashile.
Billy Gilmore, was this his? Billy Gilmore's had a great season.
When was Caicedo signed? Was it this season? Let me just have a look quickly. I think Caicedo was signed this year as well. I might be wrong, but if Caicedo was signed this year, it's not a bad shout. I don't think he was. Cool, besides the point. Let's carry on.
I'm going to go Mudryk because he's also involved at Chelsea, so that makes sense. And then I'm going to probably go for Joao Felix. So yeah,
but
there's
all of mine were justified. All of yours were terrible
What's
shouts.
5?
No, to try and do this. To try and do this properly, do you know who's like really caught my eye? Obviously, Erling Haaland is number 1, but in no particular order. The rest, do you know who I think has to be on my list? Isak.
He's on my list.
I think he has to be on my list. I just
That's
not
the
only
proper
because
pick.
of the season that he's had,
Akanji.
but because of the way that he plays the
Akanji and Alvarez. If it is
game, I find like inspiring, and also because of the potential.
yeah.
Like, what on earth? You know that run? I know that it went viral, and it's so easy to like pick on a viral moment, but you know that run against Everton?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Like I mean, we've seen it
Messi-esque.
before, but it's kind of Ronaldinho. Like you can whoever you compare it to, you are comparing it to the greats of the game. Like I remember Ronaldinho doing something like that. I think against Real Madrid. So Isak is definitely in my list here. I think he is like truly sensational. I think we have to put Casemiro in there.
Yeah.
Just because
yeah.
of,
Wait. How that brother didn't even have Casemiro in his list is actually disgusting. How is Casemiro not on your list? Casemiro to Man United, what this man was able to do in that midfield. De Gea winning the Golden Glove, that has to do more with Casemiro than with De Gea himself. And he's not in your top 5. Disgusting.
So Isak is definitely in my list here. I think he is like truly sensational. I think we have to put Casemiro in there. Just because of the way that he revolutionised that Manchester United midfield. You know, the midfield has been such a
He
problem.
missed about a third of the season, hasn't he? Being petulant.
Do you think that's
But
an
I think
issue?
the impact is huge.
No, of course.
Similar reasons for Zinchenko.
Yeah,
I'm being petulant in saying that. He's been unbelievable. He's world class.
Oh, Jacques is at it again.
Jack has got a honestly.
Do you know?
Carry on,
honestly,
carry on.
Do you know who I would have said if is Aaron Ramsdale this season? He is.
No.
No. I think Aaron Ramsdale had a really good season until recently, where I think he's like really gone off the boil. Yeah, he's capitulated. Who else do I need to think about here? Who else is doing the business? Who else?
I don't know. My five were Haaland at the top. I've got Casemiro in there. Isak, Zinchenko, and then I was flipping between Paulinho for Fulham and Lisandro Martinez for Man United.
That's a proper list.
Isak, Zinchenko, and then I was flipping between Paulinho for Fulham and Lisandro Martinez for Man United.
Paulinho's a really good shot.
Yeah.
Lisandro Martinez has been unreal for us, but obviously picked up the big injury recently.
I'm so surprised that you've both put
Surely a
Zinchenko.
Brighton player needs to get in there.
What,
The reason I say
Estepinian?
Zinchenko is because
Mitoma, does that count?
I
as
think
either
he
season?
changed. I think he changed the dressing room spirit. I think he's more so than play.
For my fifth pick, I'm going with Tranemi. So my top 5 signings of this season have to be Erling Haaland, Kvaratskhelia, Casemiro, Kim J, and Tranemi. That's my 5.
Mitoma, does that count?
I
as
think
either
he
season?
changed. I think he changed the dressing room spirit. I think he's more so than playing.
Who?
Zinchenko. Who did you think I said? Why are you laughing?
He wasn't listening to your point. That's what he was thinking about someone else.
The reason I said
Yeah.
Zinchenko is
You didn't listen to
not
anything you
purely
just said,
based
Boris.
off.
He does it a lot.
No,
you
that's
didn't listen
it's
to
stupid.
anything you said.
That's
Adam.
what he always makes me think. I said so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just assume it's Rory.
No, it's me.
No.
Scared me. Anyway.
He just stares at you. Stop staring at people. Weird.
Mitoma.
Is Matoma? Yeah, that's the.
Jack
That's
just said it wasn't.
Mitoma wasn't.
When was it? Oh, last January.
Cody Hakpo.
No.
Nunez.
No.
No. Come on, Nunes.
Liverpool players.
Trossard. Good January signing.
Stop playing.
If they win the league,
Liverpool players. Okay,
Brilliant.
Okay. That's it for the end of the video. Again, my top 5 are Haaland, Kvaratskhelia, Kim J. Kim, Casemiro, and Tranemi. Tranemi, because Real Madrid lost a pivotal piece to the puzzle of their dynasty, replaced him straight away with one of the best talents around. And Tranemi has been very good for them as well. But yeah, guys, without wasting any more time, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys soon.